Next up, we're going to talk about LinkedIn, which is a professional information and recruitment network with 300 million subscribers. I think it's around that. It sells information to corporate recruiters and large employers. It has a market cap of 14.3 billion. It's not currently profitable nor paying dividends. I'm not sure if I'm right on that subscribers. I think that might be a bit much. But tell me about LinkedIn. Now, I've been at Vestac since university, so I've never really been an active, employment seeker, but I do believe it's very useful for both employment seekers as well as recruiters.
Yes, so I'm more or less in the same boat as you with that, but I did play around with it a little bit.
Which is rare in our industry because people love to jump around.
Yes, loyalists.
Yeah.
But when I played around with it a little bit, it really does become very interesting, and you'll notice that recruiters can actually inbox you on LinkedIn even though you're not actively looking for anything, and then you can just kind of say, well, no thank you, I'm not interested at the moment, or send them back a personal message, or say, yes, I am interested in the moment. So it's not only job seekers, it is the recruiters. You can actively go and find people on LinkedIn. I've also actually used that in my own team. I've actually also asked the social media guys at FNB to help me out and look for suitable candidates, and I found some really, really nice people through that platform.
So it is very useful, and I think about 60% of their profits actually come from subscriptions from recruiters.
Yes.
So they obviously get in-depth analysis on these people, and they'll specifically search for a banker of sorts, and a whole list will come up in that area, and then they can use that very productively in terms of placing people.
Yes, and I mean the interesting thing is that the way that I initially thought that LinkedIn was going to work is you were basically going to post what makes you a good boss, and it's always
these huge motivational letters that go on for days.
It was almost going to be kind of a Facebook thing, but for professionals, and it ended up being much more about this recruitment angle. That recruitment story is called Talent Solutions, and what I also didn't realize was it's not only online to online. These guys have a massive sales force that actually go out and deal with companies in order to get these recruitment dollars in, and it might also be one of the negatives for this business, because they're not fully exposed to this massive growth in ad revenue that we've seen. They might not gain as much of that as the likes of a Facebook, Tencent, and a Twitter.
But that means they're not really competing with those big behemoths. They're not competing for adverts. They're competing for people looking for jobs.
The problem there is it's a very mature market, especially in the US.
Yeah, we've got 4.5% unemployment, so that is slowing down.
So that is an issue
South Africa
for
could do with it, though. We've got about 35% unemployment. So
well, yes, I mean, maybe LinkedIn's the answer, yeah. What is exciting, though, is that they are rolling out this Talent Solutions thing all over the world. They've really grown their European business. I think it makes up 25% of their sales now. And then they have this very small tiny little business in China, only US social media allowed to operate in China, and they've been basically just doubling subscribers every quarter. So that's basically where the excitement lies. But in the US, in Talent Solutions, that market's a little bit saturated.
I just want to touch on the share price, because it's been a high flyer. It's done fantastically well, as you can see, over the years. And then they released results at the beginning of this year, and it's pummeled. It's more than halved. In a very short space of time, and it is a reminder that these businesses at this point don't make a profit, so there's not like a underlying floor or a dividend floor or a profit floor, and sometimes the market feels they've got it wrong, and we see such movements in the share price.
Yeah, LinkedIn is a little bit unlucky here, I reckon. So the expectation was for a higher growth in revenue, better margins. It came under pressure a little bit, but the thing is, they still have a very, very solid business model. So it's not as cyclical and as fickle as some of the other social media networks. And at least there is some visibility in earnings. You know that you've got annuity income coming from Talent Solutions. The expectation is for the company to become profitable in 2018. The expectation was always for the company to become profitable in 2018. The market might have been a little bit unfair on this one.
Maybe the market was a bit wrong in the beginning, giving it a bit of too high a value. Are you going to be hot or not?
It's very difficult. The saturation of the Talent Solution business and and the fact that we don't really know if these guys are going to grow much in China and Europe any further, I would have to go for not for now.
Not. I'm going to disagree with you on this one because it's one that I haven't been hot on in the past because of my lack of understanding. But I think the big pullback in the share price at the moment, I think you are right. I think maybe the market's been a bit unfair because it certainly is a well-established business and nice that it's got something different. It doesn't compete with the others.
Yeah.